Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and welcome back to Who'd Win and Why. And this time we've got Alexander Lipton, aka Vision, going up against John Smith, aka Red Tornado. These two kind-hearted androids may not have become the evil-killing machines they were designed to be, but they're certainly powerful forces to be reckoned with. And now it's time for me to decide who I think would win in a one-on-one battle to the bitter end. So, who'd win and why? Let's find out. Alright, so first we're going to talk about Vision. Vision was originally created by the evil artificial intelligence Ultron, more specifically Ultron 5, and was designed to be a heartless killing machine that would oppose the Avengers. However, after learning the true intentions of both sides, he ultimately turned against Ultron and joined the Avengers ranks instead as a hero. Because Vision was given the same brain patterns as Wonder Man, a current Avenger at the time, he has a real sense of morality and emotion unlike Ultron, allowing him to become a real hero. Vision's main standout ability is his density manipulation, which he can use in a multitude of ways. By increasing his density, he can increase his physical strength and durability, which will only grow further as he gains more mass. He's been able to lift up to 50 tons in the past, but he's also pulled off much more impressive feats, such as shattering plexiglass, ripping through a sentinel, and standing up to characters such as Goliath, Count Nefaria, Ultron, and more. His durability can be increased to nearly incalculable levels, and he can become so dense that he, in his own words, takes on a diamond form and is practically unbreakable, though it is worth noting that he does sacrifice some speed the more his density increases. Vision's density manipulation also allows him to decrease his mass, which gives him different but just as useful abilities. In addition to his computer-like reaction speed, his speed becomes greater the more he lowers his density, both on the ground and in the air as he flies. He can also supposedly increase his flight speed by drawing power from the Earth's magnetic field, making him faster than one might expect, but his more advantageous ability he acquires from his density reducing is intangibility, which makes him weightless and transparent and allows him to phase through basically anything. In addition, he can become solid again while in the middle of phasing through an opponent for destructive results, whether they're a living organism or not. Another useful power Vision possesses is solar radiation absorption, which allows him to soak up sunlight, which basically acts as food, giving him more energy and power. However, Vision can use this most offensively by firing solar energy beams from the jewel located in his forehead. These beams can reach temperatures up to 30,000 degrees Fahrenheit and can theoretically be increased even further by using more energy, though obviously Vision cannot do this forever as the beams do use up significant amounts of his accumulated solar power. Vision's synthezoid body was impressive when built by Ultron, but Vision later rebuilt his body completely out of nanobots, each of which carries the information of Vision's AI programming. This allows Vision to build a new body for himself from a single unit if necessary, regenerate completely from the craziest of physical attacks, and even physically infiltrate other machines as a nanite. His body also has a number of extra abilities which he's gotten considerable use out of, including enhanced senses, vocal manipulation, holographic manipulation like turning himself temporarily invisible, and no need for air, rest, food, or water. Having a computer for a brain allows Vision to store exponentially more information in his head when compared to any human, and he can process new information way faster as well. He can use his brain to wirelessly connect to other computer systems and steal data from them, and he can use his optical scanners to scan anything from people to objects for physical makeup information. In the past, Vision has been able to infiltrate the Avengers security systems, the world's nuclear weapon systems, and even other android systems, making him a significant mental threat as well as a physical one. He also claims that his brain is completely immune to all forms of mental takeover except when it comes to the strongest of telepaths. While Vision may sound like an amazing technological marvel, he is definitely not the perfect android. As mentioned before, Vision sacrifices some speed the more he increases his density, and if he cranks it up to the max, he is literally unable to move his own body until he reduces it. Additionally, despite having an artificial brain, Vision was once somehow knocked out by a drug that also took out regular humans, meaning that he may not be resistant to as many attacks as one might think. Despite these minor flaws, however, Vision has proven that he can stand among the greatest of heroes, both in power and nobility. He may have been created to be another evil robot, but he truly has more humanity in him than most people tend to give him credit for. Alright, so now it's time to move over to Red Tornado. Red Tornado was originally created by the criminal mastermind known as T.O. Morrow, and was programmed to believe he was a hero and join the Justice Society of America, only to lose control and turn against them when they least expected it. After T.O. Morrow was defeated and Red Tornado regained control of his body, he decided to stay with the Justice Society and become a real, valuable member of the team. It was also later revealed that Red Tornado is actually a sentient being, a wind elemental known as Althune, who simply possessed and powers the robot body. Red Tornado's primary ability is aerokinesis, giving him control over the surrounding wind in his environment, which he can use as an elemental attack. He most commonly utilizes this to form violent tornado-like winds around his arms, which he can use for both offensive and defensive purposes. He can use these winds to blow enemies back with incredible force, and while he's shown to be able to create whirlwinds at speeds of about 700 miles per hour before, we can see that they can clearly go much faster, as they've been able to hold back powerhouses like Superwoman and Despero and fully destroy standard robots. His winds can even redirect incoming projectiles as big as boulders and bring down buildings in mere seconds. Red Tornado doesn't just use his abilities for blowing things back though. By creating a whirlwind around the lower half of his body, he can effectively hover above the ground in one spot or fly through the air at incredible speeds. Doing this has allowed him to cover 1,000 miles in only a matter of seconds, and he's been able to catch up to pretty damn quick characters in his universe. His aerokinesis also lets him make a sort of force field around himself by making a fast enough tornado around his body, create an enormous hurricane and even a lightning storm, and he can even turn invisible for a short time by moving extremely fast. So he's more than proven that he can use his winds in more ways than one. Red Tornado's android body is truly remarkable both inside and out, and can do far more than just create high winds. He's been improved upon time and time again, and now possesses durability comparable to other androids in DC, such as Amazo, and has a high degree of superhuman strength as well. He's been able to stand up against gunfire, lava, various energy attacks, tornado pressure, and assaults from characters like Cyborg, Killer Frost, Jack of Hearts, and even Solomon Grundy in the past. He has no need for sleep or anything that the human body regularly needs to sustain itself, and his computer systems allow him to enhance his own senses when needed, and process information about as fast as a fully functional supercomputer. However, arguably the most impressive attribute regarding Red Tornado's body is simply his ridiculous level of survivability. Not only can he survive underwater and in space with no trouble at all, but now that his body is made up of nanites developed by Cyborg, he's able to pull himself back together from attacks that severely damage him or even straight up blow him apart. Even destroying one half of his whole body was not able to permanently stop him. If that wasn't insane enough, because of Red Tornado's sentience, he is able to transfer his soul into other machines to use as a new body if his current one is somehow destroyed completely, assuming the machine has enough storage to store all of his data. He can also operate his current body even if his soul is somehow detached from it, making him more than formidable in battle. Despite Red Tornado being very well-rounded and pretty damn destructive, he's actually very vulnerable when it comes to being reprogrammed by an enemy to turn on his team, and he will fully shut down if he's hit in the neck hard enough, since that's where his failsafe device is located. Also, Red Tornado cannot generate his own wind, only manipulate existing air, so if there's no air in the vicinity, his aerokinesis abilities will simply fail to work. Aside from these limitations, however, Red Tornado is both powerful and extremely deadly when push comes to shove. His unique blend of powers makes him an invaluable member of his team, and his intelligence and sense of justice allow him to be the best hero he can possibly be. Alright, so now that I've gone over both of these characters, it's finally time for me to decide who I think would win this battle. And this fight is honestly a pretty weird one to analyze overall, because while the majority of the character similarities mostly lie in their origins rather than their lists of abilities, this is still a pretty close fight all things considered, and some of their signature abilities interestingly interact with each other's in multiple ways. However, after analyzing all of their powers and special abilities, I personally believe that Vision would be the winner of this fight, and if you believe that Red Tornado wins, that's great, that's totally fine, let me know why down in the comments below, but first, here's my reasoning for why I think Vision would win more often than not. When it comes to stamina and intellect, Vision and Red Tornado are pretty dead even. Neither of them require rest, food, water, or air in order to function, and both of their bodies are made up of nanites and can regenerate themselves from even the most devastating of injuries. They also can remember far more information than any normal human thanks to their computerized brains, and they can process incoming information reaction far faster as well. However, when it comes to the standard physical categories, it's a pretty different story. Admittedly, when it comes to speed, Red Tornado solidly has the advantage. Vision was able to fly faster than Wonder Man and has some great reactionary feats as well, but Red Tornado has consistently caught up to significantly quicker characters, such as Superboy and Impulse, and his traveling 1,000 miles in seconds feat would likely put him at the Mach 480 mark at least. With that being said though, Vision's strength level appears to be superior when compared to Red Tornado's. Vision has matched the physical strength of many heavy hitters in the Marvel Universe, including Wonder Man, Goliath, Nova, and even Ultron himself, and he's been able to stand up to the likes of Thor numerous times. With his density manipulation, he can keep increasing his strength to an insane degree, allowing him to compete with the strongest of characters. Red Tornado possesses his own degree of superhuman strength as well, but he honestly doesn't rely on it in combat basically at all, and prefers to rely on his aerokinesis, which we'll get into later. He's shown off his strength in the past, but his feats don't quite stack up to the physical pure brute strength feats that Vision has shown repeatedly. On top of his strength, the difference in durability also lies in Vision's favor. Both can regenerate, yes, but Vision's body is much harder to do lasting damage to. Both can take strong hits from many different powerful characters, but Vision can increase his density to the point where he's unharmed after taking hits from multiple Hulks at once, along with other absurd forces like fall-on attacks from Hyperion and Silver Surfer. These aren't even the upper limits of his durability either, as he's been shown to increase his density 1,000-fold in the past and become borderline completely immovable, and his phasing gives him immunity to basically any physical attack. The power difference between Vision and Red Tornado, particularly when it comes to their ranged attacks, is a bit trickier to decipher, as Red Tornado can create winds beyond our ability to measure, powerful enough to hold back characters as strong as Superwoman, and Vision can project solar radiation heat beams which vary in power depending on how much solar energy he's absorbed. This does sound like comparing apples to oranges, but regardless of whose abilities are technically more powerful, Vision definitely has more ways to counter Red Tornado's power. Again, with Vision's extra defensive options, such as increasing his density and phasing, he possesses extremely easy ways to become unaffected by Red Tornado's winds, and any physical attack he can perform for that matter, whereas Red Tornado has no easy way to work around Vision's physical strength and power. However, the biggest problem regarding this fight is Vision and Red Tornado's insane level of survivability. Both can regenerate instantly from almost nothing for one, but Vision can reconstruct a brand new body from a single nanite, and Red Tornado can enter his soul into a new body if he's destroyed. Granted, he wouldn't be able to do this to Vision, as he possesses complete immunity to all forms of mental takeover with the possible exception of immensely strong telepaths, but still, the chances of one killing the other seem basically non-existent. However, Vision does have ways to get around Red Tornado's quote-unquote resurrection, while Red Tornado doesn't have too much he can work with here. Vision has shown time and time again that he can easily steal information from other databases and infiltrate the systems themselves, whether it be by physically infiltrating them as nanites or by wirelessly taking control. He's even been able to infiltrate Ultron's computer systems, and he has some of the best AI systems on the planet. In contrast, not only does Red Tornado not have very comparable abilities in that regard, but we also know that it's not too difficult for someone with the right abilities and skills to reprogram him, despite technically being sentient. Vision would be able to acquire all the knowledge he needs about Red Tornado's abilities, power, physical makeup, and weaknesses, such as his badly protected failsafe device, and it would allow Vision to reprogram him for his own needs and effectively disable him from fighting, or even just shut him down completely. While it might be debatable on whether or not these methods are considered killing, they are at very least the best, if not only way either of these characters could take the other down, which definitely puts the fight even further in Vision's favor. Overall, both of these characters are extremely impressively constructed heroes, but only one has the proper means necessary to finish off the other in a one-on-one fight. Vision's wider array of powers give him much more variety and unpredictability against Red Tornado, and he simply has more offensive and defensive options that provide him with multiple counters. While Red Tornado possesses remarkable speed and similar survivability to Vision, I feel that Vision's superior strength, durability, versatility, and more helpful computer systems earn him this victory. So, in my opinion, the winner is Vision. So guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a huge like. I always appreciate the likes. Comment down below what you thought of it, what you thought of the video, what you thought of the fight, anything like that. And if you guys could subscribe to my channel, that'd be so great. That would really help my channel out. But honestly, your view is plenty of contributions. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And next time on Who, When, and Why, we've got Godzilla going up against King Kong. See you all then.